You can make a wager. I can make a wager. We're not NFL players. We're not NFL coaches. We're not in the building. We can do whatever we want. The NFL recently put out some new guidelines to better educate everybody now that they've had this rash of suspensions, most recently an Indianapolis Colts player. Our friend Mike Kay over at the Charlotte Observer got this email. He covers the Carolina Panthers, and the email highlights details on 2023 NFL gambling policy. Don't bet on the NFL, period. That's
number one.
Number one. That's a pretty easy thing to remember, right? Includes other NFL events such as the draft. Why would you gamble on the draft?
Inside information.
Yeah, I guess that's true. You can bet on the combine.
I did not know that.
We're talking 40 times?
Probably.
I'm actually shocked you didn't know that.
I did not know that.
Well, now that you know, who are the degenerates gambling on the Pro Bowl?
I have bet on the Pro Bowl.
What's
before.
wrong with you?
I have issues.
Okay. And NFL honors. Apparently you can bet on the
yeah, I have bet
too.
on that before. You can bet on the MVP.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. Don't have someone place a bet for you. Don't ask family, friends, significant others to place a bet for you. Don't gamble. No bets on sports, casino, card games at your team facility stadium while traveling for a road game or staying at a team hotel. This is what's been getting people in trouble, that these bets for other sports have been happening at team facilities.
Right.
That's a no-no.
Even though it's legal. Like we saw this with the Lions, right?
Yes.
There's plenty of legal sports books in the state of Michigan. They figured, I'll just bet on the Alabama game this week, and they get popped. This is just understanding the rules. This kind of reminds me of the Major League Baseball with their steroids.
Yeah.
Right? Like it was like, I took this supplement and I didn't know. And it's like, well, no, you got to know.
You definitely have to know what you're putting in your body. Don't share inside information. Don't share information that has not been publicly announced by your team. Don't enter a sports book during the NFL playing season. Makes total sense. Don't play fantasy football. That's been around for a long time. And there's additional rules applicable only to coaches, staff, and personnel. Don't bet on any sports. They've got that underlined and everything else. And when this topic invariably comes up, I feel like there's a real quick reaction, a knee-jerk reaction from folks on social media and on sports talk radio and on TV to say, this is hypocrisy. The NFL's taking all this gambling money and they're popping these guys for doing something that normal people can do. Well, yes, there's reasons for this. And I feel like I'm banging my head against the wall, Joe, when we talk about gambling and the pushback against it. What's happened in the NFL over the last couple of months is, and what happened in college baseball, by the way, is gambling, legalized gambling, doing its job.
Correct.
And I don't understand why that's a hard concept for people to grasp.
This is what you want.
Its job.
This is what you want.
Yes. Why is that? Why are people having a hard time with this?
Well, it's like you said, the easy target, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Oh, you're going to take all this money. It's kind of like the NCAA, right? They give you this whole thing on a printed bracket that's like sponsored by their corporate champions, right?
Coca-Cola and everything else, right?
As if the reason you're printing out the bracket is, for entertainment purposes only. You're not entering even a $5 pool.
Yeah.
And it says like, don't bet on it. It's like, well, cool, you could say that, but that's not really the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
But you're just a fan. You're just someone following along.
Mm-hmm.
When you're a player and you can affect the outcome of these decisions, or like I mentioned, having inside information, you'd be surprised how much these guys know.
Of course.
Okay. Especially when it comes to their old schools. They keep their ear to the ground. They're at the practice facility when they're in town. They talk to their former teammates. They talk to some of their former coaches. Like right now, if we wanted to get Virginia's playbook, Mike Glennon could call Des Kitchings and talk to Des for
get it right now.
That, he could.
Okay.
Because that's one of his former coaches. And that's somebody he knows. And, you keep in contact with people like that. So you can't have people running around who can affect the outcome or who have information about how a game is going to be played or personnel. That's what drives me crazy about college football. And a little bit about the NHL. I want actual injury reports.
Yeah.
Because the more inside information you have, the more susceptible you are to getting a lopsided wager or getting a situation where the Alabama coach, the actual head coach, is like, no, wait a second. My starting pitcher is not going tonight. And I know this. And he bet against his own team. Like, that's pretty lousy.